Ken here. Um, my Logitech webcam and Windows still aren't playing nicely together, so I'm still using the built-in camera. But so before I get into the topic of this video, I just wanted to take a moment and say Rhett and Link and Jacksepticeye, congratulations on your Diamond Plus buttons. You deserve them. You guys are amazing. So I'm glad that uh, Yahoo was able to reward you for all your hard work. So on to today's topic is I wanted to talk about uh, my friendships and their effects on me, and how really difficult it is to actually make friends. So, my best friends, William and Chris, I met in the Navy. And Will, when we were in weather school, was assigned as my suicide watch observer. He was supposed to keep an eye on me and make sure that I wasn't going to off myself, which really wasn't going to happen because, I tried to kill myself when I was 8, and I decided that was a really bad idea. But because of that situation and, my life in general, I kind of have a suicidal personality. And what that means is that I exhibit a lot of the traits that people attribute to those who are suicidal. I mean, it's hard to explain, really. I mean, I guess a lot of it has to do with my depression and basically how low that takes me. But I really don't like taking things for myself, and oftentimes, if I feel that I have too much, I try to give some of it away. And that's one of the warning signs for suicidal people, is they try to give away their stuff because you can't take it with you. So, but because of my depression and anxiety, the Navy went, this guy, we're not sure if he's gonna make it through this entire program, so you need to keep an eye on him. And Will, he already thought that I was an interesting fellow and wanted to hang out with me anyway, so this just gave him a reason to. So, we became friends through Suicide Watch. Go figure, right? Oh, you'll notice that I'm using a different cup for my coffee now. Apparently, Carnage couldn't handle the acidity of my coffee, and it was doing terrible, horrible things to the inside of the cup. So I switched over to my metal mug here. I'm still using my sonic screwdriver spork that I got from a friend who had Loot Crate. Not sponsored. Keep that in mind. So, because of that situation, we became really close friends, and there's a reason he's my best friend. He's been there for me, and whenever I say those words that I never say, he always drops everything to make sure that I'm not going too far over the edge. And those words happen to be, I'm not okay. I mean, I have a few friends who know that when I say that, shit's bad. Which is why I try not to say it all that often, because I don't want people falling all over themselves to try to make my day better. I mean, there are people who have it a lot worse than I do. Just like there are people who have it a lot better. But, you know, there is always someone in a worse situation than you, in some way or form. And, you know, that's how I justify not asking for help, really. But, my other friend, Chris, I met because, he's friends with Will, and they got together because they work in the same place. Or worked while we were in the Navy. All three of us are out now. And, you know, I'm up in Montana, Will's down in Georgia, and Chris is in, I want to say Louisiana. I think so. Yeah. And, you know, when I was younger, making friends was a lot more difficult because I was a lot more out there, psychologically. It's always been really hard to connect with people properly, I guess is the way to say it. You know, I've spent my entire life trying to maintain a hold on my sanity, what little there is. You know, at one point I had hundreds of what I called imaginary friends, and I think I've talked about this before. But it because of how they manifested and their effects on me, looking back on it, I think it's safe to say that they weren't just figments of my imagination. They were fractured pieces of me. And, you know, they had a tendency of taking over whenever they felt like it. So, you know, that tended to affect how people saw me and how I saw the world. So, and you know, I would just relinquish control because, you know, I don't want to deal with the shit. But yeah, that made it really difficult to make actual friends. I mean, I had a couple people that I hung out with daily who essentially just tolerated me the best, at least from my perspective. And you know, I had like 3 people that I hung out regularly throughout my entire school career, and a couple, like 2 people whose houses I actually regularly went to. In fact, when it came to birthdays, I have only actually had one birthday party as a kid. And that was because some of my classmates, I guess, felt bad for me and decided they were going to come over to my house, bake me a cake, and we were going to have a party. And, you know, that was amazing. That was when I still lived behind the Snow Creek in Red Lodge. I miss that house. But, yeah, like I said, I've only really had one real birthday party as a kid. And that really didn't bother me because the way I looked at it was people are taking time out of their lives to put focus on me who really didn't think they deserved it. And self-depreciation, all that. Um, but yeah, I had quite a few not roommate, classmates who tolerated me enough to, you know, talk to me at school at least. um, I wish I could have been a little more coherent, uh, starting out in elementary school, because that was when I was at my worst. Uh, my grip on reality was tenuous at best back then. And you look at me back then and me now, and you can see a significant difference. I mean, I'm able to do this, but part of that comes with growing up, because kids generally have a tenuous grip on reality to begin with. Um, Mine was just a lot worse than most. And as you get older, you start to understand a little better, and you come to grips with reality itself. And for me, that was a slower process. But a lot of my friendships are over the internet. Right? People that I very rarely actually get to see, but they do have an influence on you. I mean, they're people you talk to at least semi-regularly. There's only two people I actually ever call. Um, but I do my best to be a good friend. I give advice. I'm there when they need someone to talk to. Uh, there to listen when they just want to ramble on. And being me, I really don't ask for anything in return except you know tolerate me. I really don't have a very good view of myself, and I know this. And there are a lot of people who try to um, build up my self-confidence and my ego, and you know it doesn't really work all that much, but I appreciate it. uh, Making friends outside of the internet, though, is very difficult because I can't really relate to people uh, like that. I'm not fond of sports. I don't really get cars. Politics is, eh. And I don't really have all that many hobbies outside of reading and writing and YouTube and drawing. Uh, and just dealing with people in general, like face to face, is stressful. I People scare me, and I know um it's not for the reason a lot of people get scared of people. For me, it's just I don't understand them. I mean, I try. I watch, and I observe, and I can't figure it out. Is what it boils down to, is I can't figure out how to properly interact. I mean, I've been known to make furries uncomfortable, so that should say something. But, you know, part of me would like to interact and, be part of a group, but at the same time, it's like, that's really hard and I don't want to. And, social interaction is a requirement for proper mental health. It really helps. It helps to have someone there who can help you through your problems, or, just give you a hug when you need one. I mean, there was a study at some point that said a human being needs at least 3 positive touches a day for good mental health. And that means, like a hug, a high five, pat on the head, something like that. And, that has an effect on brain chemistry. But, when you are depressed and you're anxious, and you have a tendency to keep to yourself, and you're not entering into those situations that do help. I'm really not sure where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of rambling on. But that tends to be a lot of my vlogs, so sorry. But, I do try to be a good friend. Like I said, I am more than happy to listen to your problems, to give advice when needed. And, when it comes to advice, I'm really good at giving it because I have done so much stupid shit in my life. And that's really the thing, is advice doesn't always come from a knowledge of the topic, but rather a knowledge of what not to do, I guess, is the thing. I would like to think that I'm someone that people can come to. And like I said, I rarely will I ever ask for anything. I barely think I deserve what I have. But I'm one of those people that's really hard to buy gifts for, too. Like, I look at things and I don't often go, this is something I want, but rather I think, do I need this? Does it have a practical use that will help with the things that I need? Now, books, I do find books to be a necessity because they help broaden your mind. I have a love of science fiction and science fantasy, and I like to think that has an influence on how I perceive things, and just I like to think it helps me keep an open mind. But, you know, I like having toys, but, you know, I don't really see a practical use for them. So it's not like I'm just gonna say, you know, I want Legos for Christmas or something like that. It's just like, what do you want? Well, I guess I need socks. No, I said what do you want, not what you need. Um, Socks? Though at this point, it's upgraded from socks to pants. But, I don't know. I am more apt to give than receive. I, I, I treasure a smile over an object. I mean, this coming from a guy who has a whole bunch of stuff in the background. Uh, but, you know, I would rather try my best to make other people happy than worry about, you know, what's going to make me happy. Because I really don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure what it means to be happy on a personal level. I mean, I settle for content. I mean, you know, it sure beats, you know, anger and sadness and misery and complete desolation. So, you know, compared to my usual state of mind, content's pretty good. I. Oh, that's really pathetic to say out loud. I'm sorry. But, yeah, you know, I like. I hope that I'm not too much of a burden on those who know me. I feel like one. But, I don't know. I completely lost where I was going with this. So, I guess we'll call it there. So, thank you for watching. If you like this, I question your sanity as much as I question mine. But feel free to leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Uh, the button's down there somewhere. I think it's over there. And, you know, I hope you have a wonderful day. I really do. And until the next video, take care.